one, happy Halloween. Well, you look so cute.
Well, I am with the fortune teller, Gypsy.
And this is my black cat. Guys, see my nails? See my nails?
They are very cool.
I know, I want nails so bad.
See my mouse?
Not this one, but yeah. These are our props.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is Halloween? Why do we have Halloween?
Okay, so this is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about this before, actually. But what Vera and I were talking about right before our Haunted Halloween special is that the discovery of the ancient Celts back in ancient times, they had this belief that at the end of the harvest, they that the veil thinned.
Right.
Yes. And at that time, they would get dressed up to
scare the ghosts away.
To scare the ghosts away, because they believed that when the veil thinned, thank you for doing all those, that's when the ghosts would come out.
Right.
And then, do you want to tell everybody?
Isn't it fascinating though, because that was in Britain, Eastern Europe kind of thing, right? Or not Eastern Europe, but Europe. And then in Mexico, the Day of the Dead. How do you say it in Spanish, Chrissy?
Okay.
Dia
de los muertos.
There you go. Very good. But they also believed that after the harvest, that they would leave food and things for their loved ones so that they had nourishment and all that kind of stuff. But also, it's just a remembrance. It's because the thing with Mexicans that I remember so vividly when I was growing up is all about food. It's like whenever you would have people come over, you had to feed them. You had to send them home with food.
And that's one of the things that was really cool. I mean, Vera's always doing that. Whenever I come over for a meal, and then she sends me home with the most delicious homemade tortilla chips I've ever had in my life.
Aren't they good?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say tortillas, and I was going to go. Because I don't make those. But anyway. But yeah, so I mean, it's interesting that they have the same concept, and they were so far away from each other.
Exactly.
But the veil thinned also.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what's really cool about that? One of the things that I thought about when you were telling me about this is how Angus told us that, because we've known about that there's a veil between this world and the next. Right. But what I didn't know is that when Angus told us, because I was wondering, who thins it? How does that veil thin?
Right.
Is it God? Is it the other side? What determines that? And he said, we determine that. And I know we shared that before, but isn't that cool, you guys? It shows how much we have power over our experience.
Because the veil is thin on the other side. It's up to us to be able to, access it, or if you don't believe in it, then obviously you don't access it, but still, yeah.
What's really very cool about that too is what you were just saying about Dia de los Muertos.
Day of the Dead.
Yes. Yeah. Is that because they're remembering their loved ones and honoring them with the food, then it keeps them from going further away from heaven, right?
Right.
But that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because they're thinking about them and concentrating on them, and that's thinning the veil. So it's really coming from the loved ones in life.
Exactly.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so. And we have so much power within, we just don't realize it or believe it because maybe we've been taught, oh, that's just your imagination, that kind of thing. Or so-called scientist Bill Maher, like this is all hokey. But it's actually science is starting to catch up with metaphysical, the metaphysical realm, because of now they're able to gauge what parts of the brain are being affected when you're doing meditation.
Isn't that amazing?
How your body feels so much better after you meditate. I mean, it's all proven facts now. So that's where, sorry, Bill, but when you start talking about spirituality so far from science, you are wrong. Because it goes hand in hand. Quantum physics.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
You know what's interesting too, Vera? My mom, she was a nursing student before, and she said that when she was going to medical school, it seemed like they hadn't figured out yet. I think it was the glandular system. I think that's what it was. They couldn't figure out how it worked. And I think it's because that's where our spirit interacts with our physical body, because we're always talking about when we have emotional traumas and it physically manifests. So it just kind of reminds me of that in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so science is catching up with us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
true.
Because, I mean, things that weren't believable before, once they were proven, then now they're scientific.
Yes, exactly.
So there you go.
By the way, I just wanted to mention, because I don't know if everybody can see it close up, but I love your heart.
That's actually an H spot. But it's in the shape of a heart. So Chrissy just outlined it and colored it in for me.
It's your imperfection on the other side,
Beauty
huh?
spot. And that's my tooth. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have any advertisements? I forgot about that.
Well, we reduced our art prices
Right.
for a year, so we told everybody about that last time.
Yeah, you don't have to have a code or anything.
It's just, we reduced the prices as a gift or appreciation. That's
Right.
the word I'm thinking of.
Giving back, because you guys have done so much for us.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. And we have the evening with Angus if you want to have a private gathering. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So
That's very nice.
fortune
It's
teller
so
and Kat will come to you.
Yeah, there you go.
And Angus.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, I'm pointing to Michael, but Angus is like usually standing behind, right?
Right.
But I think that's our main commercials for right now that we have going on.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Because I think we said it last week, too.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to leave anything out.
Yeah. I think that's it.
The prices, evening with Angus. Oh, Mystical Traveler class. We're going to be doing in 2020. We'll let you know. And again, the prayer list. If, a lot of things have been happening. There's a lot of anxiety going on with so many things going on with the White House. And, I mean, there's not just one thing that happens during the day. It's like multiple things. So it's like, how do you
I know.
gauge it in your brain? It's like always something, you know? But we can't give up, you guys. And this is from, let me see, I want to get Julie.
Oh, you want me to read her
Hannigan
question?
Olson,
Okay, here we go.
So we're going to just
Watch
do
out,
this
my
one.
mouse almost got injured.
Ooh, sorry.
Okay, so this is from Julie Havana Olson.
I don't think it's Hannah Van.
Oh, Havana.
But you can be Havana. You don't mind Julie, do you?
As we look at the political climate, the criminal who stole our White House, do you see things getting better? Will he be arrested for all the stuff he's done?
She said, shh.
Can you give us some hope? P.S. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Personal P.S.
It was a personal P.S.
So what do you think, Vera?
So, this is what I think. Wait. Let me look at my crystal ball. Let me see. What is he doing in that White House? Do you see that?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just the cat.
Anyway, seriously. We still have to do what we've been doing in terms of gathering together and fighting this. I mean, I don't mean violently, any of that stuff, but we can't be quiet anymore. We just can't. It's no bueno. It doesn't work. And all of these other countries that are protesting and doing all these things, it's what they learn from us. And then we forget.
Right.
Not all the time, because we have the Women's March and all that stuff. So, I mean, we do it. But it's not enough to just go on social media like what we're doing and say, you better do this, you better do that, and you're doing it wrong, and you do this, and you should do that. You get up, go and call your congressman, or help with canvassing, or do something that you believe in regards to this White House. Because it is going so wrong, and he's doing everything he can so that he can stay.
Right.
And just realize, too, that when the new president comes in, it's still going to be a mess because of everything that he's gotten to do for 3 years, or is it 3 years or 4 years already?
It's been 3.
3.
Yeah.
Because he still has to do 2020, right? So, yeah. So we have to continue to get on our Congress people, do what we can do. If you can't physically go somewhere to do something or help with calling people on the phone or whatever, praying, that's doing something, or talking with family or friends and asking them to vote. And that's one thing, we have to vote. The only issue is, I don't want people to think that their vote doesn't count because of all the issues that we've had with the process,
Right.
Because one of my biggest questions is, why is John doing the dishes right now? Can you hear the clang, clang, clang? Okay. No, seriously though. I forgot what I was saying.
You were just saying about being concerned over us not voting because we feel that our vote doesn't count.
Right, because I've talked to people and they say, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not ever voting again because it's so...
No,
yes. This lady told me I'm not ever voting again because it doesn't matter.
Well, that's giving them what they want.
Exactly.
We have to activate. Do that. We have to. Exactly. We can't be passive and just, oh, well, it's no hope. And just...
So, Julie, there is hope. There is hope, and it's all of us. We're the hope. We all have to do what we know is right and what we feel that the United States should become again. Because it's been going bad for a while. And we've just been, well, that's the way it is. Or, oh, I'm paying more for gas. Well, I got to pay it. No, we've got to do something. This PG&E thing.
Yeah, that's
where
out
they're
of
turning.
hand. Here in California,
They're trying
to
pay us back
yeah.
because we complained about them starting the fire.
Right.
And they're still, with all the shutdowns of the PG&E and all that, there's still fire. So then why are you shutting things down?
Yeah.
Why don't you stop giving checks to your, whatever they call it, the board or whatever, and start fixing the lines. Shareholders.
Yeah.
Fix the lines so they can withstand the weather.
Right.
Come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I had no clue that they were privatized.
Yeah.
So they're wanting a profit off of us.
Right.
And it's just, we can't put up with those things anymore. Otherwise, well, look at Netflix, the CEO of Netflix. Whenever he raised the prices here in America, but didn't raise the prices in Europe, and somebody asked him, well, isn't your American customers going to be upset? And he goes, oh, they're stupid. They'll just pay it. That's what he said.
Are you kidding me?
Americans are stupid. They'll just pay it.
Well, I'm glad I canceled my Netflix now.
See?
I didn't know this, but I'm glad I canceled it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it keeps going up, but it doesn't go up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we've got to start being engaged in what the politicians are doing and keeping them accountable.
Yeah, I like what you said that, I think it was a millennial had said, a young person had said about what they call their generation. I really liked it.
I can't remember what it said.
A woke?
Oh, yeah, they're saying that they're woke.
I like that.
I do too.
I like that. It's pretty cool. It's
But also, you guys can be woke, but you need to activate. You need to go out there. It's not enough just to
know.
Criticize the candidates or criticize. I mean, it's okay to do it because this is America, right?
But you're saying to go
But you need to do a step further
right.
and then go out and do something. Get your generation to vote. Get your generation excited about, how America's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And how it was before. Well, we want it to be better than that. But you know what I mean. We need to grow and not regress.
Yeah. Reminds me of what the kids did in Florida at the shooting. The kids in the high school.
They're amazing.
They really activated to get each other out to vote, in the community
exactly.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
that's what, you guys have the energy too. We're old.
Yeah.
So, Julie and everyone else, there is hope. There is hope.
That's what Angus said too. He said there's always hope.
Yeah. And it rests with us. If we decide, that was another question I had. If the election was rigged and President, whatever his name is, got it because of what the Russians did, why is he still president?
I know.
I don't understand that. Can you explain that to me, Congress people? How, isn't there a do-over? Why don't we get stuck with somebody that got in there illegally?
Exactly.
Cray-cray is why.
Yeah.
So, That's my point.
You know what's really cool too, just to share something from Angus on the other side, is that he was saying whenever they get somebody who gets inspired to do something, to activate in some way, or who grabs onto the philosophy, it's like on the other side, they're like, oh, we got another one. It's like this light that goes off, and they get like excited, and
this has gone back for years and years, because I mean, have you guys seen Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? It was done in the 30s, I believe, and it was going through the same exact stuff that we're going through now. He was all excited and wanted to make changes in America, and they just beat him down because, oh, you can't do that, you know, because the powers that are there didn't want to let go of what they had, and they didn't want to share with everyone. Like they're doing now. Jimmy Stewart's in it. He's Mr. Washington. Mr. Smith goes to Washington. Yeah. And he starts getting like, you know, like, well, maybe I can't make a difference. And then you'll see. I won't give it away because I was told last time I gave away too much on a movie. So I won't do it again. So but watch it. And it's actually stuff that is going on now.
Some things are classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of sad too, though. If things have not changed, and that politicians are the same way,
right?
You know, greedy and just want things for themselves. You know, we should, as Americans, why do they get to have a paycheck for the rest of their life? Why do they get medical for the rest of their life?
I know.
And even if you're a one-term senator, you still get it for the rest of your life. Come on now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's greedy, greedy, greedy.
Exactly. We need people that are going to work for us.
Exactly. If I was young, I'd run for something.
Not just in there for the money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On a spookier note.
Yes. Should we kind of like work our way into?
Yeah. And about being arrested, I believe he's already put things in place where he's going to be pardoned.
Really?
So he's kind of pretty much going to pardon himself. And, you know, it's up to us to decide if we want to let him do that. But right now, they can do it. Look at Nixon. All his people went to jail for him.
Wow.
But he didn't.
Wow.
Yeah. Something's wrong with that picture.
Yeah, exactly.
But the president that took over, Ford, pardoned him. No bueno again.
Exactly.
All right, next.
Okay, so next we
question.
are going to get into our ghost stories.
We should lower the light.
Yes.
There you go.
We'll pretend it's
lower. Yeah.
Okay, so Vera, do we want to start off with, because we had a couple of stories that were kind of ghostly.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple of spooky type of dream experience stories that we wanted to share too. Do we want to start off with not a story, or when you were a ghost?
Let's start with what you say.
Ghost story. Real life ghost story.
We'll start with a real life ghost story. This
is amazing because ghosts by nature are scary because we're scared of ghosts.
Of course.
But that's one of the reasons we wanted to share this ghost story, because it involves somebody that we know. So Vera, do you want to share a little past life?
I had a past life where I was Native American, and my grandson Johnny was my child in that past life. And there was an Injun Joe. You guys, they've heard about Injun Joe, right? Did we tell them?
You kind of mentioned him before.
Okay. I had a life with, I call him Injun Joe. It's not disrespectful. Because at the time whenever he came to me, I was really in deep, deep, deep sorrow.
So in this life, when you first felt his presence.
When I first felt it.
Making himself known to you.
Yes. I remember vividly, I was standing in front of my bookcase. And I mean, I had cried so much. I thought, how can you have that many tears? I thought for sure I was going to run out, but it never did. But I noticed there was this Native American guy standing next to me, and I'm like,
wow.
And I'm kind of looking at him going, okay, who are you? And he didn't say anything, but he just kept, like, he had his arm around me.
Aww.
And so I felt so much peace, and I stopped crying, and I just felt so much love, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Can I say something
Yeah.
fast? This is not the ghost story yet.
No. This is telling you who Indian Joe is. And the reason I kept saying, who are you? Who are you? And he wouldn't talk. So I said, okay, if you don't tell me who you are, I'm calling you Indian Joe. And that's the way it stayed because he never did talk. It was telecommunication. But in the lifetime that we had together, he was mute. He couldn't talk.
Cool, that is
so he
amazing.
was still see, that gives me chilly willies. But he gives me that, he still has that today, but of course I know what he's saying, right? So in the past life, as when I was Native American and Indian Joe was my husband, there was another faction, is that how you say it? Another Native American tribe that attacked our tribe. Mm-hmm. And they took me and J3.
Your grandson,
my grandson
in this life.
In this life, but he was my son in that past life. Right. So they took us both, and they were trying to get ransom or something, like something in exchange for it. And I think the head guy really wanted me, but he had, there's somehow that J3 got involved in it, and he shouldn't have, but he was there, so they took him too. So we were going back, they were letting us go back to our tribe because they had gotten their whatever. And as
the ransom they wanted.
Right. But because I kept rebuffing or rebuking the head honcho on the other tribe, then it was like, well, go back. No, I don't want you then. But he had no intentions of letting me go back. Alive. As we were going towards our people, they started shooting arrows at us. And I got killed, but J3 got shot. And I thought he was killed as well, but, I was dying. And he was laying next to me, so I thought...
You thought he died.
I thought he was dead. But then I remember getting up and, like, looking for him. I couldn't find him.
Wow.
Yeah, so I kept looking, I kept searching, I kept calling him. I was like... And I went to where my village was, and I kept trying to talk to people. And it's like, why isn't anybody talking to me? I thought they were shunning me because I had gone over to that other... And, they didn't do nice things when you're over there.
Right.
So I thought it was like that I brought shame with me, so no one wanted to talk to me. So that's what I thought.
Wow.
But I was earthbound because I was looking for my grandson in this life.
Isn't that amazing, you guys? This is a real life ghost story.
Yeah.
Vera was a ghost.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But you did, because you didn't know you were dead.
No.
You were confused.
Yeah, because I thought, oh, wow, okay, I didn't die. I got up, and I felt great. So I thought, oh, well, maybe the arrow missed me or whatever. I don't know what I thought. But I just remember going, where is my son? Where is my son? I was like frantic.
Of course. Looking,
and I couldn't find him. And then when I went, I don't remember ever finding him though. So I don't know what happened after that. I just know I kept looking for him, searching for him. And then I don't know how long it was that I was earthbound. It felt like an eternity. And then, and I would just sit quietly with the tribe because I thought, well, they don't want to talk to me, but I'll still be with them,
Wow. You guys, isn't this an amazing account? Because that's what we found, and in your experience, is ghosts are actual entities like us that are just confused and don't know that they're dead.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're angry because they feel like somebody's invaded their home or their space.
Like, what the heck's going on?
Right.
Why are you in my house? Yeah.
Sometimes they're scared because they're looking for their loved one. or whatever. Children that have passed that don't realize they're dead and they're looking for them.
Right.
Whatever it might be. There's many different scenarios, but it's so interesting how a lot of times we're afraid because we hear, different things going on when really they're just confused.
Yeah.
And
so obviously I made it to the other side because I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Yeah.
But I don't remember how I got I got back.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's an amazing story. Vera was a ghost.
Oh, my thing almost fell off. My little turban here.
How cool is that? I mean, not cool.
It wasn't cool at the time.
It's not cool, but it's just cool that you can share that experience so that if anybody, that we understand what it's.
And my whole life that J3 was around me, since he was born, I always felt like he was going to be taken away from me.
Because you knew your chart. Oh, you mean in this life? Oh, because of past life. I mean, past life so many.
But I didn't know it until I realized, when I started doing regressions and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Then I realized, oh my gosh, that's why in this life, that's why it's so important to know about your past lives. And then it made sense.
Okay, I have to ask. Was that when, because you said he was shot in the leg with an arrow. I remember you telling me about a mark he has on his leg, on his calf, right?
Yeah.
Was that the first birthmark with the past life origin that you ever did?
Yeah.
So that kind of where it started.
Yeah, because it was a perfect little heart.
Oh my God.
He had a heart on the back of his calf.
So he carries that.
And then I have a birthmark on my belly.
From where the arrow hit you. Mm-hmm. Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a special mark that you have together, though.
Yeah. Mine's not heart-shaped, but yeah, it's the same past life.
It's interesting because he carries that, and I'm sure, obviously, it's the love that
and I've never told him.
Really?
No.
Wow.
So, Johnny, if you're listening, honey.
Yeah.
Guess what?
That is really cool.
Yeah. Okay, you're next.
All right.